the like button, hit the sub button, hit the notification bell. You understand me? Subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram. Join this Fisk Unit army and get Fisk Unit tough.
I work for the state of New York. I handle a lot of budgetary things for all the schools in New York. I handle a lot of budgets. I do payroll. If I, for a year straight, right, or even 6 months out of the year, if I was showing up late, calling in sick, putting money in the wrong budget code, paying people out of the wrong budget code, getting the salaries mixed up, and I had a bad year, at the end of the year when I get my yearly review, my boss is not going to give me a favorable review. He's going to say, you messed this up. This is unsatisfactory. You've been coming in late every day. You know, you messed this up over here. You put the money in the wrong code over here. You did this incorrectly. Is my boss hating on me because I didn't do my job? Or is he just saying you didn't do your job, so you don't get a good evaluation? Whereas if everything was perfect and I did everything right, and everything was good, everything was, you know, oh, you did this well, you got that project done on time, you actually had time to spare, you're able to do some extra credit, I'm going to get a good review if I do my job right, right? So if I don't do my job and he gives me a bad review, which is, in my opinion, us booing him or just voicing our displeasure, saying that was a terrible game, he has not played well, he's been bad, how am I hating on him? Like, how am I turning my back on him or not supporting him if I just talk about the way he performs in a game, good or bad?
Okay, so here's the problem. That analogy is incomplete because you're under the assumption that Daniel Jones has performed poorly, and that's a lie. It's not even a debatable that Daniel Jones has performed well for this team for 3 years. For 3 years, he's been the best player on this team. Since day one, Daniel Jones has been the best player on this team. Statistically, he had one of the best rookie seasons of all time. Statistically, the 24-12 in 12 games, the 18-point comeback, the 5-touchdown win versus Washington in overtime. He's the only rookie quarterback ever to have multiple 350-yard pass games with 4+ touchdowns without an interception in NFL history. He did that his rookie year. He also threw a touchdown the first 16 starts of his career. That's what he did. Year two, let's call a spade a spade. Evan Ingram catches that ball, we're in the playoffs. If the Eagles don't tank, we're in the playoffs. Call a spade a spade. Daniel Jones should have a division title under his belt. The most swept under the rug game in the history of the Giants franchise is Daniel Jones beating the Cowboys at 1 o'clock. If Daniel Jones does not beat that Dallas team at 1 o'clock, we can't root for the Eagles at 8 o'clock, period. Year 3, last year, Daniel Jones came out of the gates like a bat out of hell, destroyed Washington. Evan Ingram dropped the ball. Dexter Lawrence is offsides. That ain't his fault. When he left the field versus Atlanta, we was in position to win that game. The last time we saw Daniel Jones on the field versus Atlanta, he trucked Grady Jarrett to get a 2-point conversion. He then goes to New Orleans and has a 10-point comeback in the fourth quarter and beats them in overtime. One of his best games. Nobody want to talk about that. We then go to Carolina. The whole team is hurt. Saquon's not there. Andrew Thomas isn't there. Shepard ain't there. Galladay ain't there. Tony ain't there. He takes that bum Darius Slay and whoever else is on the field, and he beats Carolina when Carolina was still good. He also beat the Raiders, who were a playoff team. And the last time we saw Daniel Jones, he Kurt Angled the Eagles. The last time we saw Daniel Jones, he beat the Eagles with a broke neck. That's the last time we saw him. The last time Daniel Jones played for the New York Football Giants, we were a game out of the wild card spot with tiebreakers over the Eagles and tiebreakers over the Saints. And that's a fact. When Daniel Jones got hurt, you saw what the Giants really are. When you took the best player off of the team, Daniel Jones is our best player by a mile. When you took him off the team, we couldn't cross the 50. Hell, we couldn't even get a first down. We were so pathetic. Joe Judge was calling QB sneaks just to pump the ball back. We literally went from being in position to make a late playoff push to get a wild card spot with Daniel Jones to being a laughing stock, a complete and utter joke of a franchise because we lost one player. Last time I checked, Bad Dog, Galladay was out there, Tony was out there, Saquon was out there, Andrew Thomas was out there. Why we ain't win? Daniel Jones was the only person missing down the stretch last year, and we didn't do nothing. I saw the Ravens win with a backup. I saw the Cardinals win with a backup. Why we can't win with a backup? So at the end of the day, to quote the great Freddie Kitchens, and I say that jokingly, he's not great, but to quote Freddie Kitchens, when Daniel Jones got hurt, we couldn't hide the flaws anymore. He was the deodorant. He called on deodorant because he made it. He elevated everybody the best of his ability, and he covered up all the flaws. Daniel Jones, since day one, has had to put up with bad coaching, a horrible offensive line, and filth at the skill positions. Evan Ingram was trash. Darius Slayton was trash. Shepard's never healthy. Galladay wasn't healthy last year, and Tony was always had a rib problem, COVID. Something's always wrong with Tony. Daniel Jones has literally been the reason we have won every single stinking game the last 3 years, with the exception of that Seattle game. And the fact that he couldn't get a fifth-year option, or he has people like you, Bad Dog, who only highlight the negatives of the Giants and lump him in with that, is disrespectful and is shameful, because he does not deserve any blame for the last 3 years. Because without Daniel Jones, we freaking go 0-16, and I think the last 6 weeks of the season, it proved that. I don't understand why y'all hate this kid. I don't understand why y'all overly criticize him. As a Giants community, we need to protect him. We need to give him a reason to be happy. I heard a rumor that he literally avoids social media because every time he turns around, it's something negative. You got hurt season hats being worn by Nick Sirianni and A.J. Brown. You got Washington fans trying to convince the world that Carson Wentz is the answer. You got Cowboy fans really trying to tell themselves that Dak is going to elevate the wide receiving core without CeeDee and Michael Gallup. I mean, not CeeDee, without Amari and Michael Gallup. And then you go to New York, and in New Yorkers, it's like, oh, this is a rebuilding year, man. We going to stink this year. Daniel Jones ain't the guy. We going to get Will Levis, who puts mayonnaise in his coffee next season. That's the energy that most of you Giants content creators put out there. So when I hear Bad Dog talking about something to quote to Daniel Jones, I'm the only one. Me and my co-host, Cop Pizzle on the Giants Outsiders, are the only two content creators that defend Daniel Jones. So when it was brought to my attention that Bad Dog does a video about, oh yeah, the cult of Daniel Jones in Jonestown, and I'm like, okay, he must be talking about me and my subscribers, because who the hell else has defended Daniel Jones? Where are they? Other than my subscribers in the videos I put out, who got something nice to say about DJ? And I'm still waiting for somebody to point me to the content creator that consistently says nice things about Danny.
Well, all right. So there's more than just content creators on YouTube. There's a bunch of typers. There's a bunch of people that subscribe that don't make videos that come into the stream and stick up for Daniel Jones. Like I said, when I'm getting IM'd and DM'd and people are leaving messages, where's your Daniel Jones video? That's not directed towards you. There's a big community besides the content creators. This is the thing with me. I don't worry about other content creators' content. I make my own content. I don't care what their opinions are. Everybody's entitled to make whatever content they want. Their opinion's fine. I will never criticize a content creator for their opinion, because I think it takes balls to come out here and show your face, or say, show up every week, every day, making a video, knowing that if you're wrong, you got to come back here and say you were wrong. But I'm also going to say this. You can say, oh, we won all these games because of Daniel Jones. He's 12-25 as a starter. He is 12-25 as a starter. He's got 21 touchdowns and 17 interceptions in his last 2 years. And in his career, he's got more turnovers and touchdowns. He does not progress at all. I saw a super chat that somebody left you in the video, and he said, Daniel Jones can make all the throws. He's mobile and he's accurate. And then he said, if I went and said that to someone else's channel, I'd get ripped apart. And I'm thinking to myself, that's bullshit. Because anybody on my channel, anybody will tell you I have never, ever said Daniel Jones physically cannot perform. As a matter of fact, I think Daniel Jones' physical skill set is in the top 15. I put him right up there with Dak Prescott. I put him right up there with Derek Carr. He's 6'5". He is accurate. He is mobile. And he's got a good arm. And he's good. I mean, he can play physically. Unfortunately, that's part of the game. He has not progressed in the pocket. He's insecure in the pocket. He doesn't feel the rush. He can't elude the rush. And he makes very poor decisions. He's hesitant, especially in the red zone, which is why we do not score points. And if you look at his mobility, it's always on designed runs. It is not on him just scrambling. And when he scrambles, he gets hurt. So, and the other thing is, I don't just make negative Daniel Jones content. Go back and look at my channel. Go back and look at after the Saints game. I was the guy on here saying this guy's going to be better than Dak Prescott. This guy's going to be better than Mitch Trubisky. This guy's going to be better than Dwayne Haskins, God rest his soul. This guy's going to be better than Sam Darnold. As a matter of fact, I know I was one of the first people to say Danny Dimes. People say that I came up with that. I'm not going to take credit for that, but I was one of the first people to say that. I was on board with this kid. I supported him. Rookie season, I said, shit, this kid's going to be really good. Second season, I said, that's okay. New system, no training camp. It's 2020. It's a weird year. 2021, I started to fall off. I said, this kid ain't progressing in the pocket. This kid still can't read defenses. What do you mean, what did he do?
Now, when you say he fell off in 2021, that's where you lose me, because I'm like, last year, we were fine. We were fine till he got hurt. He was winning games. He won as much as he could with the most inept coaching staff on planet Earth. No offensive line, and skill position players that were always hurt, including Saquon. He's the only reason we won games. Like, you gotta, and you're talking about the pocket. What pocket, bad dog? What pocket? He didn't have a line.
In 2020, he held onto the ball the third longest in the NFL. Last year, he held onto the ball the sixth longest in the NFL because, again, he is hesitant in the pocket. His pre-snap reads are bad. The reason, a huge reason that Saquon Barkley had the year he had in 2018 was because Eli Manning could read defenses and put Saquon Barkley in the best position to succeed. And his receivers, Victor Cruz, Hakeem Nicks, they'll all tell you that Eli Manning was able to do that. Because you have to be a cerebral quarterback on top of being physical. Let me ask you this, Fisk. The Texans in 2020 were god-awful. God-awful. They didn't have DeAndre Hopkins. They had nothing. They were 4-12, but Deshaun Watson led the league in passing yards of 4,800. He had 33 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. How come Deshaun Watson can perform at that level with a bunch of scrubs? How come Matt Stafford could be a Pro Bowl quarterback every year on the Detroit Lions after Calvin Johnson retired and still put up great numbers on horrible teams and then go to the Rams and win a Super Bowl? Why can quarterbacks like that elevate and be better and put up good numbers? Why can't Daniel Jones do that? But that's the thing. It's his line. It's his coach. At the end of the day, Fisk, at the end of the day, is he good or not? At the end of the day, what is his record? At the end of the day, is he?
You said, why can't he put up numbers on a bad team? That 24-12 he had in his rookie year, that was throwing to Caden Smith, Darius Slayton with no offensive line. So don't say he can't put up numbers on a bad team. Don't say that, because
how many turnovers did he have in 20?
Who cares? Brett Favre was winning MVPs, leading the league in interceptions. Eli Manning led the league in interceptions 3 times. Stop burying Daniel Jones for turnovers when everybody else shot praise, turned the ball over all the damn time.
But they won. They won.
He's won the best of his abilities. If Daniel Jones wasn't the quarterback of this team, we would be habitually 0-16 to 2-14. It showed when Daniel Jones. Here's my thing: all you Daniel Jones people who say he hasn't progressed, and Daniel Jones is this, he's that, he's this, he's that. Why didn't we get better when he got hurt? Why did we get significantly worse? If this was baseball, they had this thing called wins above replacement. It almost won Mike Trout with MVP over Miguel Cabrera, and he won a triple count. It's called wins above replacement. Daniel Jones literally is that much. He elevated this sorry offense that much that it looked competent when he was there. Let that sink in. Daniel Jones got hurt and bad, though. We couldn't get first downs. Forget crossing the 50, my friend. We couldn't get first downs without Daniel Jones. Nobody talks about that. Why doesn't anybody bring that up? It's the cool thing to do is bury Daniel Jones. Nobody talks about how he beat the Saints. Nobody wants to talk about how he beat the Raiders. Nobody wants to talk about how he's owned the Eagles since he's got to the team some Eli Manning couldn't do. Nobody points out the good in what he does. They focus on these fake criticisms of him that don't exist. He doesn't have an offensive line. How are you going to criticize this kid for being in a pocket, holding on to the ball too long, when any other quarterback would be running for their lives and throwing 50,000 picks a game? Daniel Jones has no offensive line, and he still stands tall in that pocket and tries to deliver a strike. That ball he threw to Darius Slayton, he got decapitated on that ball. He stood tall in the pocket and delivered a strike to that man, and he dropped it. That ain't DJ fault. Daniel Jones, when we have needed this boy to show up, he showed up every time. He showed up versus the Eagles in Washington and Dallas in those division games. He showed up versus the Saints. He showed up versus the Raiders. By the way, 2020, he had one of the best 2-minute drives of his career versus the Bucs. Remember, he got the ball back on like the 10-yard line. He drove down, got a touchdown, and they called back the 2-point conversion on Daniel Jones. People don't talk about that. Daniel Jones has been pouring perfume on a pig since he's got to this sorry-ass franchise. The Giants, since that boat trip, have been the worst franchise in the NFL. The Jaguars have a better winning record. The Browns with 0-16 and still have a better record than the Giants. We have been poverty since that boat trip. The only good thing about us is Daniel Jones. If we didn't have Daniel Jones, we would literally be going 0-17 next season. We wouldn't stand a damn chance. And it's okay for Trevor Lawrence to be garbage, and everybody blamed Urban Meyer, but Daniel Jones just had the most inept offensive coaching staff in the history of football, and everybody don't give a damn. It's all Daniel Jones' fault. You're supposed to make the Clapper offense work. You're supposed to make Freddie Kitchens play calling work. You're supposed to make Joe Judge, the incompetent Joe Judge, who cost us a game at Kansas City, by the way, because Daniel Jones was moving the ball down the field the last 2 minutes, but we didn't have timeouts because Joe Judge wants to curse people out on the sideline and give Mahomes extra plays at the goal line, but we don't want to talk about that. Joe Judge cost us more games than Daniel Jones did. And here's one more thing. Giants fans got some nerve to criticize Daniel Jones when Eli Manning would have been under 500 for his career if Daniel Jones didn't turn his ankle in Lambeau. If Daniel Jones doesn't turn his ankle in Green Bay, Eli Manning retires under 500. So y'all can't be holding Daniel Jones to Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. If we were the Colts, the Patriots, if we were some franchise that had a great quarterback and you wanted to shit on Danny, I would be more receptive to it. But we're the Giants. We've had mediocre at the position all of our lives. And you're going to hold Daniel Jones to some mythical standard that he don't deserve to be held to? No, that's BS. We've been more competitive the last 3 years of Daniel Jones than we were for a decade under Eli Manning. And that's not debatable. Period.
How come Deshaun Watson can put up 5,000 passing yards and 33 touchdowns on a 4-win team? How come he can put up those numbers and Daniel Jones can? You can't tell me it's coaching.
Yes, it is. Oh,
the Texans have good coaches. The Texans have a good coach.
Pep Hamilton is light years better than Joe Judge and Jason Garrett. Pep Hamilton is light years better. Huh? Come on, stop. Stop the cap. That was Bill O'Brien. No. That was the Bill O'Brien offensive coaching staff. So, yeah, most definitely. Hell yeah. That was Bill O'Brien's offensive coaching staff. Most definitely, yes.
So you think it's just coaching. You don't think that the player has to perform. It's the coach.
Baddog, let me ask the question, Baddog. How the hell do you go from 24-12 in 12 games to throwing 20 touchdowns in 2 years? That's Jason Garrett, and this is on record. Colin Cowherd, I was watching Colin Cowherd's show. He was like, yo, I had dinner with Jason Garrett. We had these conversations. They told Daniel Jones to stop being aggressive. If you turn the ball over, you will be benched. We want you to be conservative. Stop pushing the ball. What did Joe Judge do? Joe Judge didn't want Daniel Jones to push the ball. He wanted him to throw checkdowns, move the sticks so they could play, so they could control the clock and play field position. This is what happened. It's the coaching staff. So now you got Brian Dable coming in, and he's like, no, throw the damn ball down the field. Throw the ball. Throw picks, make mistakes. We want points. We want to play with pace. We want to get these guys in space. How the hell do you have an offense in 2021 that doesn't motion? We were 32nd in motion. The offensive, Giants fans listening to this video right now, our offense was so trash that we went to training camp and were doing backflips because we saw Kadarius Toney motion across the damn field. That's how horrible our offense was, that when we got to training camp, y'all cheered when a wide receiver went in motion. Let that sink in. Let that sink in for a second.
I have never denied that Daniel Jones is in a crappy situation. But again, he has not progressed in the pocket.
Did he progress? He stopped turning the ball over, bad dog.
He stopped turning the ball over, but he stopped scoring points. He still didn't stop turning the ball over. He's got 17 picks and 21 touchdowns and 17 interceptions in the last 2 years.
But how many? That he had what, like 25 total turnovers his rookie year. He had 12 interceptions and what, like 12 fumbles lost. So he in 2 years he had like 8 less turnovers than he did his rookie year. I called that progression. Eli never stopped turning the ball over. Brett Favre never stopped turning the ball over. Jameis Winston still turns the ball over. So for Daniel Jones to eliminate his turnover problem, give the boy some credit.
Oh, listen, he gets credit for, and I'm going to tell you something. Another reason, and this is another reason why he struggles. Okay, people have film on him now. When you don't have film on a guy and he's brand new, he should be able to light you up. He should. But once people get acclimated and they study the film and the defenders study the film and they say, he's got this tendency and he's got that tendency and I'm going to jump around. What about the pass? What about the pass he threw to the defensive tackle that was laying on the ground?
Yeah, who got fired? Who got fired immediately?
Yeah, but still, I get Jason Garrett's a shitty coach. I get it. But Jason Garrett didn't throw that pass.
He called the play.
But Jason Garrett did not say roll out to the right, throw the ball perpendicular to the line of scrimmage with no receiver in that area. He didn't say to do that. That was not the play.
The way that play developed, it looked like it. The way the play
developed, what it looked like to me is Daniel Jones didn't know what the hell he was doing. That's what it looked like to me. So that's a difference of opinion.
Well, what about
it was terrible.
You bring up that play, right? You bring up that
play. I'm just saying that's just an example.
Head taken off. But what about when he stands in the pocket, gets his head taken off by a linebacker, and delivers a strike to Darius Slayton or Everett Ingram and it gets dropped?
I agree. I don't deny that. I don't deny that he's in a bad situation. I don't deny that, but he should be getting better.
Highlight that, bad dog. Bad dog. Let me tell you something.
Fisk, every quarterback in the league should be doing that. You're an NFL quarterback. You're supposed to stand in there, take a hit, and deliver. That is his job. That's his job.
Do that, though. A lot of them don't sit in the pocket and take those hits. He's very Andrew Luckish, and I give him credit for that. A lot of these quarterbacks, they run around, they get the ball out there. Mitchell Trubisky looks petrified when he gets blitzed. Jared Goff looks petrified when he gets blitzed. Tom Brady looks petrified when he's getting hit. Daniel Jones will stand tall. Okay, hurry up, Slayton. Hurry up, Slayton. Please hurry up, Slayton. Oh, damn, I got hit. What I'm trying to say is even the haters, when it's time to put their money where their mouth is, bad dog, Vegas had to make Brian Dable one of the favorites for one coach of the year. All these daily fantasy sharps and everybody who you depend on to get your analysis from, they got to rank these Giants players pretty high. So what I'm trying to say is I might be one of the few people in the Giants community big enough the Giants, but a lot of people are investing a lot of big money in the Giants. And the only way Vegas is going to make Brian Dable second to win coach of the year, bad dog, is what? He got to win games, right?
Yes, you do.
And the only way he going to win games is if Daniel Jones does what?
They all got to do well, but yes, it'll hinge on.
I think it's going to be a Sean this has Sean McVay, Jared Goff written all over it. I really think this is going to be a situation where it's like You had Jeff Fisher, a la Joe Judge, some old conservative bum who don't
I
know
hope
nothing about
yeah, Joe
offense.
Judge was terrible, not the right guy. And again, that
And
was a
then you
gentleman.
bring in Dable, and then you bring in Dable, and it's like, oh my gosh, he can do this. Oh, we didn't know Jared Goff could do that. Oh, we didn't know Daniel Jones could do that. And then you got the head coach that brings the best out of him. I think that's what's going to happen. I think it's really going to be a situation where Dable's going to come in, get the best out of Danny, and I think he's going to get a majority of the credit.
Well, the team sucks, but at the same time, Daniel Jones, like I said, I don't have Fisk. I can't have confidence in a guy that's 12-25. Not yet. Not yet. I want him to prove to me that he can play well on a consistent basis, and hopefully this regime can get it out of him.
And you're going to give them all the credit. That's the sad part. So when Daniel
I'm
Jones
not going to give them all the Fisk, I just told you. Daniel Jones physically has all the tools to succeed in the NFL. I'm not going to be given, will they deserve some of the credit? Absolutely, because you just said that Daniel Jones failed because of the coaching staff. So if he succeeds now because of this coaching staff, how are you not going to give the coaching staff credit? You just told me that Deshaun Watson got credit because of Bill O'Brien's offense.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you an honest question. When after Daniel Jones is done throwing his 35 touchdowns and his 4,500 yards, right? After Daniel Jones is done doing these things next season, because we're going to win the division next year. So after Daniel Jones wins the division, has his 30-plus touchdowns for all that good shit.
I hope you're right.
When he wants that max contract, bad though, what's going to be your take?
He won't get a max contract. What they're going to do is they'll franchise tag
him. For how much again? $35 million, right?
Whatever it is, it's still going to be like Kyler Murray just got $46 million, so it's going to be less than what Kyler Murray gets. It's going to be less than
$35 million. It's $35 million. So let me ask you a question, bad though. So I'm glad you said that because this is what bothers me. So you're going to franchise tag a guy for $35 million when you could have had him on a 5th-year option for $23. It's dumb. It's just not giving him that 5th-year option was just stupid. It was stupid because at that point, you're saying that all this was Danny's fault, which is a lie because we weren't competitive. We were only competitive because of him. So it's like I'm telling you, Joe Shane is going to regret that because I just know for a fact, I may or may not know somebody close to the situation. He took that personal. And this is going to be very Dak Prescottian when it comes to his contract. He's definitely going to want to feel the love in his contract. Like I said, I know for a fact I may or may not have somebody close to the situation, but he really, really took that person. Not getting that 5th year really, really bothered him.
Yeah, but you got to remember something. It's not their guy. So again, he hasn't proven he can win. You can say that the reason the Giants won the games is because of him, but they haven't won in a frequency where they can sit there and go, he's definitely the guy, 100%. We know going forward, we want to sign the guy. We're definitely keeping him. They don't know that. They don't know what he's going to be in their system. So they're saying, you know what? We can either wash our hands of this guy or we'll pay him an extra $12 million because the Giants have a lot more cap space next year. So instead of committing to him for another year, not knowing what he is, and like I said, in year 4, we're still having this discussion in his 4th year because
y'all still having this discussion.
You and I are having this discussion right now.
No. I'll talk about as far as I'm sold on Daniel Jones. You're not sold on him. I'm sold. I don't have these discussions. I would have extended his ass. So I don't have these problems. Y'all are the ones who aren't sold. He needs to prove something to y'all. Danny has absolutely nothing to prove to me. I'm a Giants fan who sat through a horrible decade of Eli Manning. I'm grateful to have Daniel Jones as my quarterback at this point. I'm conditioned to average quarterback play. So maybe that's why Daniel Jones' play doesn't bother me. Maybe that's why. Maybe because I was so used to my quarterback always losing to the Eagles. How you go from beating Tom Brady in 2 Super Bowls to can't beat Tony Romo and Kirk Cousins for the division. But that's a debate for another day. All right, now the chat gonna laugh me off the show after I say this. But I went on a rant like a month ago on my channel because I hate the turkey burger people.
Right.
If a hot dog is not a sandwich, then a turkey burger ain't a damn burger. It's a chicken sandwich. I'm so sick and tired of people say a burger is ground beef. It's a patty. It's a hamburger. A burger is a burger. Once you start using turkey meat to make your hamburger. It's no longer a burger. It's a chicken sandwich. There's no difference between a turkey burger and a grilled chicken sandwich on some bread.
Yeah,
it
would be a grilled turkey sandwich.
Yes, it's not a turkey burger.
Right.
I went on like a rant about that. Like, oh.
Yeah, it's not a burger. You're right. Any last words, my man?
No. Look, just listen. Giants fans, it's hard. I get it. It's been a rough 5 years. But just let your hair down, have some damn fun.
I don't have any hair left here. My hair gone.
Oh, I ain't got no hair either. All right. just let loose.
There you go.
Let loose. There you don't have to be so pessimistic. Just allow yourself. It's like falling in love after a divorce. Allow yourself to love again, okay? I put it to you this way. I've ever be sad, bump that. If they lose, you're going to be depressed anyway. At least be happy for the first month and a half of the season before you go into depressed mode. That's all I'm saying. It's July, bad dog.
It is August. Yeah, August.
If you can't be excited about your team in the preseason, then God help you. At least allow yourself to be happy for at least the first month of the season.
Yeah, I'm hoping the Giants season lasts longer than the Yankee season this year.